What guys, bad boy Jemby here, aka Satan, the devil, Lucifer. Most people just call me Dave though, or David. But yeah, I'm Satan, it's the truth. I'm the dude that runs hell. Hell's a real place. You don't want to go there. If you live a bad life, you go in there. I mean, a lot of people, the Antichrist, I'm the Antichrist as well. Antichrist is Satan. It's just Satan made flesh on earth. That's all the Antichrist is. So, but a lot of people might think the Antichrist is here to oppose Jesus. No. I tell you the same thing Jesus tells you. Jesus told you if you live a bad life, if you're a bad person, if you're a cunt, and a lot of you are, you're going to go down to hell. And some of you won't get out. You live such bad lives, you don't actually get out of hell. Some of you can get out, but you might have to serve quite a long time in there. If you live a good life, obviously you go to heaven. And there is the void, which is like purgatory in Catholicism. It's a waiting area. It means you need to think about things and think about why you've not been allowed into heaven. It'd be because you haven't lived your life that well. You've not lived it bad enough to go to hell. But God doesn't want you in heaven because there'll be a reason. You know, you've been a bit of a fucking arsehole, a bit of a miserable fuck maybe. No one likes to spend time with you because you're a miserable cunt, and there's a lot of those. So, yeah, that's the situation on that. I'm the devil. But I'm a good guy because I work for God. And I'm here to sort you the fuck out and get you into the stars, get new earths. As I say every week, put your money in Wisdomtree CRUD. It links your money to the price of crude oil. I don't think the Reptilians have been putting their money in Wisdomtree CRUD. All the Reptilians know about Dave Jemby. The devil's on earth, so they know about me. And the British Royals, the Windsors, or the Mountbattens, or the Battenbergs, because that's what they actually used to be called, they know about me. They know all about me. A good few of them are dead now. Harry Windsors left. He's flying the flag for the British Royals. The reason they changed their family crest colour, their family crest colour used to be like the colours of Aston Villa and Burnley Football Club, like claret and blue. But they've changed it to red and white now because Harry Windsor's football club, and the Windsors are obsessed with football. Harry Windsor's football club is Arsenal FC, and their colours, Arsenal colours, are red and white. Whereas King Charles, his club was Burnley, claret and blue, were their colours, or still are their colours. And William, he supported Aston Villa. Their colours are claret and blue. So that was the colours of their crest. They've changed now to red and white, same as Arsenal, Harry's team. Why they're so obsessed with football, I'm not really sure, because in the eyes of God, football is a really good sport. God likes football, but the sport of kings is supposed to be boxing. Queensberry rules boxing, because that's how you establish in a civilized manner who the best fighting man is. So once you're in a royal family, you're supposed to be obsessed with boxing and obsessed with fighting. Yeah, and if you want to be the king of kings, you've got to be the best at fucking fighting. You've got to be the best boxer in those royal families, because that's what dictates everything. This whole universe, it's all about fighting. From microbes fighting each other to lions fighting each other on the African plain and everything in between. It's all about fighting. And whoever's the best fighter and the best species at fighting is going to be able to get new Earths, be able to steal those Earths away from other species. It's all about fighting. When I'm king of the world, when Satan's the Roman emperor, because I'm supposed to bring back the Roman Empire, because I am Roman Catholic, the Antichrist was foretold that he'd be Roman, he'd be of Roman descent. Yeah, it's all foretold. If you go on Google, you'll find it out. The Romans are best at fighting. That's why I'm Roman. God's fighting man. God's man of war, King David. And it's my job, don't forget the Jesus stuff, what Jesus taught you, because that is very important, love and peace to one another. But you are going to have to fight for new Earths. You are going to have to come out on top, and then you get the new Earth. And once you get new Earths, then you get more resources, more land, more farmland. And things can, living standards can go up for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people on this Earth who have very low living standards. I'm lucky. I'm in the West and I have high living standards. I've got a nice home, I've got food in the fridge, I've got electric, I've got heat, I've got everything I need to live quite comfortably. But there's a lot of people who don't have that. There's a YouTube channel called Indigo Traveller that I occasionally watch, where you see how a lot of people in this world live very low living standards. And I'm here to try and sort that out. But you are going to have to get new Earths. You're going to have to fight for new Earths. Now the Windsors, because they're pissed off they're going to hell, they don't want to work with me. They're trying to pretend I'm not here. They know I'm here. Harry Windsor knows I'm here. But they don't want to work with me because they want to try to disrupt God's plan, and if they come out as the kings of the world, they're going to be found responsible for doing a lot of terrible things, because they have done a lot of terrible things, because they rule in a stealth ninja way, in a way where you don't know they're the kings of the world, even though all the reptilians do. They can get away with doing a lot of terrible stuff. Whereas if you're a king and everyone knows you're the king, you kind of, you're held more to account. So them Windsors, they're pieces of shit, and they don't want to work with me. The only one left's Harry Windsor. I'm pretty sure the others are dead. Been killed off by God in heaven's mind powers. And yeah, there's a lot of people in this world that haven't got a good standard of living, and that's got to change. But it needs new Earths. Need new Earths. We can do a lot on this Earth though to get things, better on this Earth. Something I wanted to talk about is how what we need to do is build upwards a lot more. So what we do at the minute is we build our cities, and often they're just quite low level. Like this house, it's got this ground floor, and then it's got a story above it. It's got the go up the stairs, it's got a story above it, and then that's it. It has got a loft, but an attic, but that's all it's got. We need to be building a lot more skyscrapers out of glass and steel, because glass and steel are very easy to recycle. Glass and steel can be melted down. You can build it into glass and steel, and then you can, if you need to, with free energy, melt it down and change it into a different shape. As many times as you want, you can do that with glass, and you can do it with steel. We're pretty good at building skyscrapers. You see, with skyscrapers, you can house a lot more people in a small area. The only problem is usually with skyscrapers, you need bedrock, strong bedrock to build the skyscraper into. But I'm thinking we might be able to create our own bedrock. We might be able to smash up a lot of our old housing. Also use free energy and anti-gravity to harvest a lot of the rock you've got at mountains. You've got a lot of mountains, right? Nothing grows on these mountains. There's no ecosystem. It's just a rock. Like once a mountain gets so high, there's no real like forest or anything on it, because it's just too fucking cold. There's nothing really, not much that lives up there. So a lot of those mountains are going to need to be, the tops of them, demolished with free energy and anti-gravity to put in as bedrock to put skyscrapers on. I live in a city called Birmingham in UK, and you know, most of it's just low level. Most of the city is low level. You know, the height of my house, most of it. We need to be building upwards more, and we need to create our own bedrock. Just take the rock from the mountains, tops of mountains, and put that on the ground where our cities are. Demolish the housing first, and then and use that as the bedrock to bolt skyscrapers to. Because you imagine if you had, because housing's a big problem. There's just not enough housing, good quality housing. I mean, there's a housing shortage in the UK. The plan from the Windsors was to starve a lot of you off, to have this hyperinflation caused by oil shortages, communism, because that's what it's going to be, which then pushes up food prices, starve a lot of you off to solve the housing crisis. If there's less people on the earth, then we haven't got a housing crisis anymore. But God's plan, God in heaven's plan, which I'm trying to enact for him, is to build upwards more, to get this rock from the mountains, put it on the ground, and then start building upwards skyscrapers made of glass and steel. So if you think buildings like the Burj Khalifa, London Gherkin, that's another one. The Burj Khalifa, you know, it's this big glass and steel skyscraper. You've got the London Gherkin, you may be aware of. So again, another, you know, you can house usually offices, but they can be used to house a lot of people. I mean, it's my plan to, you know, and have the homes in there, the apartments, flats, call them flats in the UK, but apartments. To have these apartments to be really quite, you know, nice apartments. I was thinking, I want them to be kind of a standard. If you've ever watched the film American Psycho, I'm just going to try and bring it up. American Psycho, he has a really nice home. This is actually a digital animation of the American Psycho's apartment. Nice place to live. It gives you an idea. You know, that's what you need, but you've got to build upwards to do it. You're going to have to make your own bedrock, because a place like Manhattan in New York, that's got very good bedrock, so that's why you've got so many skyscrapers there. That Manhattan Island is just a big hard rock, and that's why they're able to build these skyscrapers on it. Whereas at other places, it's not as easy to. If you actually look at the Burj Khalifa, which I think is the tallest building in the world, they've had to go to no end of engineering complexity to be able to build this skyscraper so high there, because it hasn't got the same quality bedrock that you've got in Manhattan. So my solutions just bulldoze a lot of the tops of mountains that no one goes to anyway. Just big rocks, next to nothing living on them. Bulldoze them. Put the bedrock down on the ground where your cities are, and build skyscrapers to home people, and try to get like this Patrick Bateman's apartment. If you've ever seen the film, so you know, people have got nice places to live, and like the rents will be quite cheap. You know, it's state housing, because there's a lot of people who just can't afford to live anywhere, and you need people. Say you've got a cleaner, right? A cleaner is an important job. A cleaner who cleans offices or a factory or whatever. That's an important job, but it's quite low paid, and those people are struggling to put a roof over their head. It's an important job. Someone's got to do it, but they're not earning enough money to be able to afford to live, basically. So they need cheap housing provided by the state. Like I say, the Windsors solution was just starve a load of you off with oil shortages, because their whole economy is a Ponzi scheme on oil. It depends entirely on oil to function, and eventually the oil's going to run out. Now, I think Harry Windsor's plan at the minute to try and get me to shut up and kill me off is he's going to do these oil shortages. You see everything kicking off in the Middle East. That's why I always tell you, put your money in Wisdomtree, CRUD. But he's going to do these oil shortages and make things quite desperate for people financially, to try and push people towards killing me and getting rid of me. And then he'll say, all right, then after that I'll release free energy. Well, you've always got the option. You could always take the other option and go after Harry Windsor. I'm not saying you do that, but you could do, because he's the one who doesn't want to work with me. I'm here to give you free energy and anti-gravity, work with the Greys, doing interstellar travel, try to get new Earths, try to progress everything for everyone, try to raise the living standards of people in a lot of poor countries that have got, you know, terrible living standards. Just watch Indigo Traveller and you'll see what I mean. Go on that channel. If you're in the West, you know, you're very mollycoddled. I mean, the thing is, the countries Indigo Traveller goes to, a lot of those countries are communist already. So there's a lot of the world that is already communist, and communist just means you're going to get low living standards, things are going to cost a lot, the public is restricted, basically, their access to natural resources, and the master resource of the whole British Empire and its economy is crude oil. It's a Ponzi scheme on crude oil. But you're going to get, they've already got communism in those poor countries, but you're going to get it in the wealthy West. Now, in the wealthy countries, you know, Europe, North America, Japan, countries like that, you're going to get communism there as well, and it's going to be bad. If your money's not in Wisdomtree CRUD, it's going to be really quite fucking bad for you under Harry Windsor. God in heaven has a plan. He's going to hopefully kill him off at the right time, and then hopefully Reptile Society, as I like to call Reptile Club, starts working with me. As a monkey man, all you can do is put your money in Wisdomtree CRUD and just hope that God in heaven has a plan and does sort it out. But that's the situation on housing. We need to build upwards. Like, for example, you say, well, why can't you just keep building low level, like this house? Because you start building into your farmland. That's why. If you just keep building low level housing to house all these people, you encroach more and more into your countryside, into your forests. You have to bulldoze your forests. You know, forests are very important because trees are air purifiers. That's what purifies the air, so it's nice for you to breathe. Trees are great at cleaning up pollution. So you pump out pollution. Oh, well, you're going to use free energy. Under me, you're going to use free energy. That doesn't create pollution. But at the minute, you've got all these petrol cars and diesel cars. They pump out pollution. Well, the trees are made from carbon, so they absorb that carbon to grow. They're great air purifiers. Problem is, you chop down a lot of your forests and you don't replant them. So your management of forests isn't great. A lot of rainforest gets bulldozed down to clear for cattle farming. My plan is to put a lot of using free energy and anti-gravity to put a lot of your farmland in the deserts, because you'll be able to turn seawater very easily to fresh water. Remember, you've got to put the salt back though. Any sea salt, you've got to put it back in the ocean. That's damaging to the ocean. So I've got some great plans. Satan, the devil, has some great plans for humanity, both reptile and monkey. Because I work for God. That's why I work for God in heaven, and he's got a plan, and he wants to see humanity as a whole do well. But I'll say the Windsors are standing in the way. They're just pissed off. Their crappy little British empire's coming to an end. It's just coming to an end. It's just run out of ideas. Harry wants the Reptilians to kill me. They don't particularly want to do it because I'm Satan, so they're a bit scared of me. A lot of the Reptilians like me. There's a few obviously that hate me and want to see me dead, but they don't have the balls to come here yet and try and kill me, so I don't think they're gonna. I think they're just waiting for God in heaven to sort it out, to be honest. Well, we're going to move on to another topic now. I talked a few videos ago, a few weeks ago, about how I heat my house. I use a dehumidifier. Got that one, Humshaw, 99 quid off Amazon. Unfortunately, it hasn't got an auto shut off, so I have to empty it 3 times a week. 3 times a day, not 3 times a week, 3 times a day. So what I do, that Humshaw dehumidifier, I empty it first thing in the morning when I get up, empty it of the water. I empty it around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, because that'd be when you're getting home from work, I suppose, for most people. I empty it then so it doesn't fill up, because it hasn't got an auto shut off. It won't overflow, it'll just keep running, but it won't be filling up with water anymore. And so I empty it around 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then I empty it just before I go to bed, right? So that's what I do with my dehumidifier. So I empty it 3 times a day, first in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening, before I go to bed, about midnight. And then what I also do to heat my home is with this. I haven't been putting it on thermostat. I talked about this electric fan heater. It's only about 20 quid. You get one off Amazon, 20 quid. I talked about how you can put it on thermostat, but that's quite expensive because it will come on quite a lot. So what I do is I just let it have. I put it on there. It's blowing out hot air now. I put it on for 5 or 10 minutes, a couple of times a day, right? So I'll just have it on maybe 2-3 times a day for 5 or 10 minutes. Just turn it on manually. So just put a blast of hot air into the room, and then the dehumidifier seems to keep the temperature up. The dehumidifier's on all the time. I've got that on constantly. That's on through the night as well. And that's how I heat my home. And it's a cheaper way to heat your home in terms of how much you're going to spend on electric. I don't use my gas boiler anymore because, well, it needs a repair for a start. It really needs a new boiler. Then we're looking at £2,000, a lot of money. This is how I heat my home. And then for hot water, I just get hot water from the shower if I need to do washing up. And obviously the shower can fill up my bath for a bath. and obviously I can have electric showers. You know, I can have a shower with that as well. So that's how I heat my home. It's a lot cheaper. So that might be useful to people. I told you to use a thermostat on the electric fan heater, but it can get quite expensive because it will come on quite a lot. So why not try that? Just give yourself, you know, a few heat blasts and then just turn it off manually. That's what I'm doing at the minute. Keeps me warm. Yeah, but we haven't seen the temperatures go really low yet. It'll be interesting, but I'll just have to turn that on more. I'll just have to turn that on more often. That's all it will be. Or maybe I'll have to put it on thermostat then when we get into minus temperatures. This might be very helpful. This advice might be very helpful to people who really don't want to have to buy a new boiler. They're in the position I am, which is I need a new boiler really, and they don't want to spend the money because it is a lot of money. And I'm spending less on my electric. So yeah, that might be helpful to anybody. I hope it is. Now, something I've talked about in the past is how the Windsors have been doing child abuse. They've been abusing children. I mean, King Charles was seen with Jimmy Savile on the regular. And obviously King Charles would have known Jimmy Savile was a paedophile. Of course he did. A lot of it was they'd been ordered by the Greys to do it. One, because I think the Greys kind of would like to have sex with you, but I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure on that. But also because the Greys were trying to take that piss out the Windsors. You know, you got this reptilian royal family that run the world. What you've got to remember, right, is they were only put in power by the Greys because the Windsors are pussies. They're little Battenberg bitches from Battenberg. It's a village in Germany. They're little pussies. The Greys didn't want the Romans, they didn't want to keep working with the Romans because they were scared of the Romans, even though the Romans were scared of the Greys. The Romans were scared of the Greys and their technology. But what they were worried about, the Greys, was the Romans sussing them out. That the Greys, shit at fighting, wimps, you know, pussies really. They're really smart and we need them. We need to look, you know, work with them and be nice to them. But they were scared of the Romans because the Romans are bully boys. Very good at war, fighting. No, they do things like crucifixion. They were just scary to the Greys. So the Greys wanted to took the Romans out of power, which, you know, the Pope's just gone along with back in the 1500s, and put the British royals, Germanic families in power, and the Windsors were the, you know, the main one in power, the head Germanic family. And the whole reason was because they're pussies. They picked them deliberately because they're pussies. And the Greys would do tests with the Windsors to see, are these the fairy boy bitches we need? And the way they do it is by getting them to have sex with each other. So you won't believe this, it's hard to believe, but Harry Windsor, William Windsor and Charles Windsor would all have sex with each other. They're all bum chums, gay boy lovers, believe it or not. I'm going to put a picture on screen that kind of proves my point. It's of William and Charles, pair of fairy boys. I've got another picture of Harry kissing Charles in a very sexually suggestive way. So the Windsors, it was an incestuous relationship. It's just, you know, they were being ordered by the Greys to do it, but the Greys are just like looking at them like, you're just complete cowardly little bitches, and just do everything we say. And that's exactly what we want. The Greys wanted the Windsors in power because they're little pussies, little fairy boy bitches who like to have sex with each other. But they've been ordered to do it and have sex with kids, you know. It was just the Greys trying to see, like, would they do it? And if they do it, great, because we need little wimps that we can rule over. That we don't want any scary dude in power as King Reptilian, because he might then start being mean to us. But like I say, you've got to be nice to the Greys. You want to get the best out of them with technology. They've done all your tech. This camera I'm filming on now will have been designed by the Greys. That MacBook there, the iPhone, yeah, that's all just the Greys. You're not smart enough to come up with that stuff. You don't really do smart. What humanity does, both reptile and monkey, what humanity does is athleticism. You young men, in particular, are athletic. That's your trump card. That's what you're good at, yeah? Not smart, though. You're not that clever. You're not that clever, but so what? Doesn't matter. Just how it is. It's how you've been designed by God. So, yeah. Harry Windsor is a fairy boy bitch who would have sex with his father. I mean, I think it was mostly, I think, Charles on the receiving end. I think so. I think he was usually the one who'd get bummed. It's the truth. They're just gay boy bitches. They're abusing kids. I mean, William and Harry were probably abused by their father and maybe their mother as well, Diana, and maybe Camilla as kids. It's this incestuous family that... I mean, the funny thing with them is they're threatened by anyone like me. They're threatened, the Windsors, by masculinity. They don't like anyone that's big, tough and scary. They don't like me, that's why. Because I'm a big, tough, scary motherfucker that's offering them out every fucking week on this fucking YouTube channel for a fucking punch up. They don't want to fucking... they hate that, you know, because they're shit at fighting. They're fairy boy bitches, the Windsors. They hate that. Because that's how you overthrow them. I'm overthrowing them now. But the way they're keeping power is by pretending they don't have power and not engaging with me. So then, because of that, God in heaven is slowly killing them off with mind powers, giving them cancer, which they're trying to hide. Not that well. They hide it in the media. You know, they have Charles and William. Charles is dead. Meghan Markle's dead. Kate's dead. Camilla's dead, as far as I'm aware. Harry's flying the flag with his with the red and white Windsor crest. You know, same colours as Harry's favourite football club, Arsenal. Yeah, but Harry, you won't come have a fucking fight with me, will you? You won't just have a fucking fight with Satan. So, you're not flying the flag, you're just a little bitch. So, that's how that is. That's that situation. But yeah, bum boys. They love to bum each other. They love to have sex with each other. On orders of the Greys. But... you see, the way I see it, you know, you're not just supposed to do whatever the fucking alien tells you. You know what I mean? But that's who the aliens wanted in charge. Someone who just do whatever they'd be told. But now the aliens, the Greys, realise I'm the boss. I'm the boss. God in heaven's the boss in the afterlife, but Satan's the boss in this universe. Because I'm working for God in heaven. He's the ultimate boss. But I'm working for him. So the Greys have accepted I have to be the boss, or at least I hope they have. Yeah, they should be smart enough to do that. And
The Windsors needs to get the fuck out of the way. They don't fucking want to. Harry's clinging on to power, the little bitch boy. In your Harry Windsor. Yeah? Fucking fairy boy, you little Battenberg bitch. Yeah? You'll notice no one else speaks about the British royals like this. No one just calls them little fucking pussies. Because the whole of reptilian society is totally subservient to them. But obviously I'm not. I'm subservient to God in heaven. That's who my boss is. It certainly ain't some fucking British royal family of fucking gay boy lovers who like to bum chum each other. Be bum chums. Of course it's fucking that. You know what I mean? My boss is God in heaven. And God in heaven's got the best interests of the people at heart. He wouldn't send the Antichrist here to do terrible things to the people. I've got to be good to the people. But you do have to behave. I mean, if you don't behave, you do some really bad shit, then I'll have to have you crucified once I'm Roman Emperor. So be good. Do what Jesus told you, and you'll be fine. You'll go to heaven. It'll all be fantastic for you. It's simple as that. Incidentally, I should just state for the record, God in heaven has no problem with homosexuality. So if you are a homosexual, God in heaven doesn't have an issue with it. Or lesbianism. Incest, however, you're not supposed to do incest. That's not good. You're not supposed to do that, right? But homosexuality is fine. I just like taking the piss out of British royals because I'm in a war game with them now. I'm in a war game with those cunts, right? So I'm vying for boss of the world. I'm working towards that. It's taken me a while, but I'm working towards that. I need to overthrow the Windsors. But they don't even want to fucking engage with me, do you, Harry Windsor? You fucking little bitch. You little bitch that likes to take it up the bum from your fucking bro and your fucking dad and give it them up the fucking bum. You won't come fucking fight me though, will ya? You're just a little gay boy bitch bum chum lover. That's all you fucking are, innit? And you were picked, listen to me, Harry Windsor, you were picked deliberately by the Greys because your family are fucking fairy boy Battenberg bitches. You were chosen deliberately. The Greys didn't want the Romans in charge because we're fucking scary. But it's the Romans who are boss. And the Roman Empire's coming back, of course it fucking is. Under me, I'm Roman Catholic. I'm Roman genetically, but I'm British. My nationality is British. But yeah, so it is, isn't it, Harry Windsor? Yeah, fucking fairy. So guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you found it informative and you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.